So two control words, one for specifying IO function, another for bit set and reset mode of port C. So both the control words are written in the same control register. So the control register differentiate both the control words by the value of D7. If D7 is 1 means D6 to D0 determine IO function, otherwise set and reset function of port C. Okay. And also we have discussed about this example, that is interfacing your 8255 with 8051. So next we are going to see about the next interfacing technique, that is this technique is called decoding technique. So chip select signal can be generated either by using direct method. So directly we can connect NOT gate from the address lines, and this will generate the chip select signal. And another way of generating chip select signal is a decoding, using decoding technique. Here 4 address lines are used: A15, A14 and A13. So these three address lines are inverted, and A12 is directly given to the NAND gate. So here, to enable this 8255, to access this 8255, so the output of the NAND gate must be 0. Since it is active low signal, okay, so the output of NAND gate should be 0, okay. So for this decoding circuit, find out the inputs. Find out the inputs in order to generate your output as 0. So here A15 inverted, A14 inverted, A13 inverted, and A12 is directly given. Okay. So in order to access this 8255, the chip select signal is going to be 0. Okay. This NAND gate should generate 0 output. So what will be the input of NAND gate? Please tell me. So what is A15, A14, A13, A12 to output 0? One one zero or 0001. Please find out. So when all the inputs are high, your output will be 0 according to your NAND gate truth table. So you have to find out A15, A14, A13 and A12. Students, can you understand my question? So this is a decoding circuit, okay? This decoding circuit is going to generate one signal, that is a low level signal, to select this 8255, okay? For that we are using 4 address lines: A15, A14, A13 and A12. Here A15 is inverted, okay? And A14 is inverted, A13 is inverted, directly A12 is connected to the decoding circuit. So here this should be 0. Okay, here 1. And this line should be 0. 1, 0, 1. Directly you can give 1. So what will be the output here? When all the inputs are high, the output of NAND gate is 0. So your 8255 is selected since your CS bar is equal to 0. Clear? Students, 0, 0, 0, 1. So when 0, 0, 0, 1 means the output of NAND gate is 0, that is connected to your chip select signal. So 8255 is accessed by 8051. So this is the one way of technique to generate chip select signal. Either we can directly use one address line, and that address line should be connected to chip select. Otherwise, we can use some logic circuitry to generate chip select signal. Is that clear? Yes or no? Please tell me. Is that clear, students? If you have any doubts regarding this, you can ask. Is that clear or not? Please respond. Okay. So, considering this diagram, this logic that is decoding circuitry, you have to find out the address for port A, port B, port C, and control register. Please find out. You have to use 16-bit address, and according to this decoding circuitry, A15 is 0, A14 is 0, A13 is 0, A12 is 1. Remaining all bits are 0. For selecting your internal device, 0, 0 means port A will be selected, 0, 1, port B will be selected, 1, 0, port C, 1, 1, control register selected. Okay. A0, A1 will differ based on your device selection, and already we know about these address line status. So put the values against to each address line and find out the value. So what is the internal address for port A? And find out the internal address for port B, next port C, and control register. So find the IO port address assigned to port A, B, C, and the control register. So what is the address, internal address for port A, port B, and port C? So what is the address? What is the answer? So can anyone unmute and tell me the answer? 100, port A, very good. B, 101, 102, 1003. Okay. So this is the correct answer. Please note it down. See, in previous example, this is the table, okay? So here only A14 is used to generate chip select signal, okay? So the A14 must be 1 to access your 8255. So A14 we have put 1, okay? Remaining all the bits are undefined, and A0, A1 will differ based on your device selection. So we are getting 4000, 4001, 4002, 4003. So here the circuitry is different, chip select circuitry is different. Here they have used NAND gate. So address lines also, 4 address lines are utilized for generating chip select signal. So based on this decoding circuitry, your address is 100, 1001, 1002, 1003. So from A15 to A0. Okay. So A14, A13, A12, etc. So 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So all are 0, 0, 0. So port address 100. 0001 842 according to 8241 the value is 0, all the bits are 0 and our LSB are also 0. So 16-bit address is 100. Next 0001 01. So what is answer? 1001. Next 0001 10. So what is answer? 100. 0001 etc. 11. So 1003. Please note it down. So this is the answer for your first question. So we have identified the internal address of port A, port B, port C and control register. Okay. So next question you have to find out the control register content, that is control byte. So here port A is configured, that is going to be configured input. Port B output, port C output in mode 0. So find out the control word. Have all of you noted this answer? So you have to apply your value in this control word format for IO register. Port A, you have to configure port A as input, remaining port B, port C, output in mode 0. Find out the value. So your D7 is going to be 1, okay? And D6, D5 going to be 0. And port A is configured as input, okay? So D4 is going to be 1. D3, 0. D2, 0. D1, 0. D0, 0. So the answer is 90. Very good. So for the second question, the answer is 90. So here we are going to apply the inputs in this register. 1, 1, 0, 0, 1 input configuration, 0, 0, 0, 0. So the answer is 90. Your control word is 90. So what is the next question? So write a program to get the data from PA and send it to both port B and port C. So first you define the starting address of, that is define your control register, initialize your control register address and move that value 90 to control register and get the data from port A and transfer the data into port B and port C. Please do it. So are you able to follow? First you have to configure your port A, port B, port C. Okay, for that we have identify the control register value. First initialize your control register value using this 100. Move x dptr comma hash 100. Okay, and move that 90 to 1003. Now your 8255 is configured for port A as input port, port B as output, port C as output. Next, you get the data from port A and send the data to port B and C. So refer this previous program. So according to this, you have to write. So first initialize your control word, move that control word into your control register and get the value from port A and transfer the value into port B and port C. Is anyone completed? So is anybody ready to explain that program? Bala Meenakshi, completed?
Yes, ma'am. Just typing.
Okay. You can explain that, ma.
Yes, ma'am. I'll type and explain, ma'am.
Okay. What about remaining students? #92 accumulator #100 to DPTR at A2 at DPTR. Okay. Initialize port A address. Moving that value to accumulator, increment DPTR. Yes, correct. So here first initialize your control word. Let's move A comma #90 and this is the address of your control register. So DPTR is pointing 1003 and move accumulator content to 1003. Next initialize your port A address. So DPTR is pointing 100. So get the data, whatever data available at 100, transfer the data to accumulator. Increment DPTR is pointing 01002. So that will be your port B address. Okay. So your accumulator holds port A data. Okay. So move your port A value to port B. Again incrementing DPTR 1003. Okay. And accumulator holds port A data. Move that value to port C. So that's all. So please note down the solution. So for the first question, so this is the answer. Port A address 100, port B 1001, 1002, 1003. Control word for IO configuration 90. And this program describes how to transfer the data from port A to port B and port C. Is that clear? Students, is that clear? Any doubts? So this problem is very important in your unit 3. So any interfacing diagram may be given. So you are asked to solve, that is used to find out the port address, control word, and one application. What about other students? Any doubts? Yes or no? Shall we move on to the next control word? BSR control word. So any clarification in IO mode control? So we have two control words. One is for IO configuration, another one is for port C configuration. Bit set reset control word. Okay. So bit set reset control word. So for setting, resetting pin of port C, so this control word is sent to control register. Okay, the format of IO mode set, that is format of BSR control word is given in this figure. So the various functions of port C during the different operating modes are listed in this table. One second. So it's a 8-bit register. So your D7 differentiate the IO mode set word and BSR mode. If it is D7 is 0 means your D0 to D6 determines BSR. That is your port C set and reset. So individual bits can be controlled. Okay, by using this control word, the bits, port C bits can be controlled individually. Okay, so this first bit is 0, D7 bit is 0. Okay, and D6, D5, D4 are undefined, not used. And these two bits are used for bit selection. So we have 8 bits in port C from PC0 to PC7. So the bits can be selected by using this table. 0, 0 means PC0 is selected. 0, 1, PC1. 1, 0, PC2. Likewise, your PC7. So individual bits can be selected by using D1, D2, D3. Okay. And the bits can be set or reset by using this D0. Okay. So if the bit is D0 is 1 means the selected bit is set, otherwise reset. Suppose I am going to select BC3. So BC3, what is the value? 0, 1, 1. I'm going to set this BC3, 1. So remaining all are 0. So your BSR control word is 0, 7. Likewise, you have to calculate the control word for individual bit selection. Is that clear? So I am going to select this one. What is the control word? PC7. What is the control word? So you have to select PC7. So what is the control word of BSR? So 0, 0, 0, 0. All ones 0. So what is the value in terms of hexadecimal? 8421 0 C. 0 C or 0 D? 0 E. 0 E. So 0 E is the control word. So next program, you have to program PC4 of the 8255 to generate square wave. Okay. So select your PC4 according to this table and set this corresponding bit first and find out the control word for PC4 selection. So the purpose of this mode is individual devices. Suppose I can connect a switch or LED to a particular port bit. So that can be enabled or disabled by using this BSR mode. Okay. Single bit accessing. So individual bits can be set or reset for control applications, either on or off. So you have to select PC4 in BSR register. So what is the control word? So PC4 means 100 10001. 09. So PC4 means, so the MSB bits are 0 here. 1 0 0. We are going to set this bit. So 1. So the answer is 09. Okay. So the assembling program for this particular application, first we have to define the control register based on the decoding circuitry, based on decoding circuitry, and also your what is that IO mode set control word. Okay, so first you identify this value, control register value, move that value to DPTR, that is move the address hash control register to DPTR. We are going to write this value into control register. So based on decoding circuitry, first find out the address for control register and load that address into DPTR. Okay, and I am going to set this PC4. So 092A, move that value into DPTR. Okay, call delay routine, and next for generating square wave you have to clear for continuous toggling. Okay, so suppose in this case reset means this value will be 0. Okay, so the answer becomes 08. Move that value to accumulator and accumulator to your control register, call the delay routine. So using PC4, the square wave being generated. So in this way, we can generate square wave or control individual devices by using port C. Is that clear? Remaining students? Other students, is that clear? Manashri? Any doubts, ma? Udaya Kumar. Yes, okay. So that's all about your 8255. So any doubts? So I have covered everything. That is your pin details, IO mode configuration, functional block diagram, and control word along with design oriented examples. So next IC is about 8259. Just I will give some introduction about 8259 in this class. So 8259 is the programmable interrupt controller. It's programmable interrupt controller. Actually, this 8259A. So this is specially designed to work with Intel microprocessors 8080, 8085, 8086 and 8088. So not with your 8051 microcontroller. So to understand interrupt handling capability, this topic has been included in your syllabus. So it is programmable interrupt controller. It is especially designed to work with Intel microprocessors, that is basic processor, 8-bit and 16-bit processor. And the main objective of this IC is, main aim of this IC is, it is used to expand the interrupts of 8085 and 8086. Okay, so at a time it can accept 8 interrupt requests. Okay, and allows one by one to the processor through INTR. Okay, your 8085 and 8086 as associated with interrupt request pin. So when we interface this IC with your 8085 and 8086 processor, your processor interrupt capability can be improved. So at a time it can accept 8 interrupt requests. And 8259 can be used in cascaded mode to expand the interrupts inputs up to 64. So mainly 8255 is for expanding your port capability and 8259 is for expanding your interrupt capability. Okay. So here the features are, so it manages 8 interrupts 8259 manages 8 interrupts according to the instruction written into its control registers. Okay, and priorities of the interrupts are programmable. So different operating modes which decides the priority are automatic rotation mode, fully nested mode, and specific rotation mode. I will explain the modes of operation in the following lectures. And next, the interrupts can be masked and unmasked individually, and also this will provide the status of pending interrupts, in-service interrupts, that is the interrupts currently being serviced, and mask the interrupt. And 8259 is programmed to accept either level-triggered interrupt signals or edge-triggered interrupt signals. During the cascading mode, the interrupt capability is expanded up to 64 interrupts. So it can accept 64 interrupts in the master-slave configuration, and it is programmed to work with either 8085 processor or 8086 processor. Okay, so these are the features of your 8259. So this is about our pin configuration. So 8259 is contained in a 28 dual inline package that requires only 5 voltage supply, and we have 28 pins. I will explain one by one. So first one is the chip select signal. So what is the purpose of chip select signal? So what is the purpose of this? It's active low signal. Okay, so it's active low signal. To access this chip, the chip select CS bar is made low. Okay, so low on this pin enables read and write communication between your CPU. So assume that your 8085 or 8086 processor interfaced with your 8259. So this is the input signal. So this signal is provided by your processor. Okay, either 8085 or 8086 processor. So output signal means the signal is being generated from 8259 to your 8085 and 8086 processor. Okay. So this chip select signal enables read and write communication between CPU and 8259. Okay. So this signal is made low by decoding, similar to your 8255. Based on the decoding signal, the signal will be generated. So this pin is connected to address bus through decoder logic circuit. So decoding logic circuit I have explained in the previous IC 8259. So the main purpose of this one is it enables read bar and write. That is enable read and write operation. So next signal is the write signal. This is also a active low signal. So which enables write operation, which means that that is enable 8259 to accept control words from CPU. Okay, so your 8085 or 86 and send the control words to 8259 by using this control signal, write bar control signal. Next, read signal. It enables a read operation. So it enables this 8259 to release the status, that is pending interrupt status, in-service interrupt status, and masked interrupt status onto the data bus. So just it will read the status of 8259. That information will be placed on data bus. So we have 8-bit data bus. So this will provide the communication between your 8086 or 86 processor with 8259. So bidirectional data bus, control, status, and interrupt information are transferred via this data bus. So all the information, control word information, status word information, and interrupt vector information, that is starting ISR, address of the ISR. So all the informations are transferred to the microprocessor via this data bus. Okay. And next, cascader lines along with slave program and enable. So these 4 lines are used for master slave configuration. I will explain that later. cascaded mode. Cascade 0, Cascade 1, and Cascade 2. So these lines form a bus to control multiple 8259s in master-slave configuration. And this SP bar, EN bar, so these two are, so this particular pin is a bidirectional pin, that is a dual function pin. Actually, the particular chip is, that is 8259 is programmed in two modes. One is buffered mode, other one is non-buffered mode. Buffered and non-buffered. Please note it down. So when the chip is programmed in buffered mode, this pin SP bar, EN bar pin can be used as an output. Okay. Suppose when it is when not in the buffered mode, it is used as an input. Okay. So it will perform dual function. Suppose when the chip is programmed in buffer mode, this particular pin can be used as an output pin. That is output. Okay. In non-buffered mode, it can be configured as input. So that is a difference. So buffered mode means we have a data bus buffers in 8259. So to enable and disable the data bus buffer, that is when the data are being transferred from 8259 to the CPU, this pin is made low or high in the case of buffered mode. Non-buffered mode, it is used as an input to determine whether 8259 is to be used as a master or slave. Okay, please note it down. When this pin SP bar EN bar, okay, is equal to 1 means 8259 is configured as master. 0 means slave. Suppose if the device is programmed in non-buffered mode, it is used as an input pin to determine whether 8259A is to be used as a master or slave. So I will explain these pin detail elaborately in the following sessions. Okay. So next one is the INT pin. It is an output pin given to your microprocessor. So this pin goes high whenever a valid interrupt request is accepted. So it is directly used to interrupt the CPU. Thus it is connected to CPU interrupt pin, INTR. This is connected to INTR of processor. And also we have 8 interrupt requests. At a time, the chip capabilities, it can accept 8 interrupt requests simultaneously, that is from 18 to 24. So this interrupt request is acknowledged by this signal, interrupt acknowledge. So this pin is used to enable 8259 interrupt vector data on the data bus by sequence of interrupt acknowledge pulses issued by CPU. So whenever it will send the interrupt request to the 8051 or the 8086 or 8085 processor, that will be acknowledged by interrupt acknowledge signal. And coming into this interrupt request, so these are asynchronous interrupt input pins. An interrupt request is executed by rising interrupt request input, that is low to high. Okay, so when it is low to high, that interrupt will be, that signal will be accepted by 8259. And next one is the A0 address line. So this pin acts in conjunction with your read bar, write bar for device selection, chip select. So mainly for device selection. So it is used by 8259 to send various command words from the CPU and also to read the status. So it is normally connected to the CPU A0 line, similar to your 8255. So only A0 line is used by 8259. In previous case, device selection, your 8255, we have used A0 and A1. Here A0 one is only one address line is used in 8259. Okay, suppose your A not is 0 means the device IO address space is even address. When A not is equal to 1 means odd address. So two addresses are assigned, are reserved in the IO space for each 8259. When A naught is equal to 0 means that is called as even address. Other with A naught is equal to 1 is called odd address. Okay. So next class we will see about the functional description of your 8259. Okay.